Guys, let's talk about more stainless steel in the bathrooms and the difference of like where we're going to actually apply the stainless steel wipes and do the polishing versus just the standard disinfecting. So let's go look and see about the items that we're actually going to polish first. That'd probably be the easiest way. Okay, so we definitely want to polish. And I like to do this kind of in one continuous thing. We want to get polished like right in here. You can see all the streaks from people having to come over here with wet hands. It's all over that trash barrel there. And we'll just put that on there. And then into a stall. If it has one of these right here, you can go ahead and take this and just put it right here on the where people are touching it all the time. Okay. You can put a little bit of it down there. Don't put it there on these handrails. Okay. Okay. The next thing we're going to do is actually just take and polish that out now. Just take a couple of these here. See how it just completely removed all the streaks. And you can take it, this here when it's got a little bit of that left, just kind of go across the top of this and kind of just take the dust off of it. If somebody hadn't touched it, I mean, we could take this here, and put a little polish on there if we needed to. So we want that to be polished in here. Just wipe this off. Basically, let me show you what to do with the pink towel now. What would we use the towel on in here? I mean, obviously, right over here, this here is going to get wiped off, even though it's metal. You can also wipe this off. This here is going to have all kind of people that put their foot on there. We're not going to polish this, but this can be wiped off. If it's super bad, just take and flip over to a new spot, right? Before you come over to the next area, because we're probably going to work on some partitions. These pull handles right here. I want to make sure that all the fingerprints that have been on that get wiped off. All these little latch things right here. Now, one thing I really want you to notice is this here. This is a gray painted partition, okay? Which means this is what we're going to want to do is be wiping these or disinfecting them on there anywhere where we see that they've been touched or need to be spot cleaned because they're painted. Now, in a little bit, I'm going to be showing you some that actually are made out of stainless steel, and those are a little bit more difficult and more to it. So, but this is basically just standard restroom cleaning practices beyond taking care of the polishing of the stainless steel. Okay, now let's look at elevators. Elevators can actually be pretty difficult because of the amount of stainless steel. So it's really important to get these things set up to where you can only be worrying about spot cleaning. And this one basically is pretty much there, but you're always going to have like this call panel, to kind of worry about and get all the fingerprints and everything buffed off of. And then let's go on kind of inside, but kind of on the way in. The things that are spot cleaned are like right here where the people have been spilling their coffee. I don't know if you can see this, but there's all kinds of streaks right here where people have just been kind of spilling stuff on the way in. Handprints right there. More stuff right along the sides here. So you can imagine people just having a hard time getting through the doorway there. Okay, I'm going to step out here and try to get some of this polishing done out here because sometimes the elevator wants you to be in a certain place. Just watch out for those pinch points. So some elevators, they might actually have more stainless out here than on the inside. And I think that's what we're going to see here in just a second. The walls in this thing are actually made out of wood. So most of the work is actually going to be out here. Okay, let's go inside. All right, guys, let me just go ahead and show you on this whole door. It looks like the stainless steel goes up and down. One thing about stainless steel in large sheets like this, it actually has a grain to it. So you want to make sure, if possible, at least when you're putting this stuff on, that you're going with the grain of the stainless steel. Remember that grain is a lot like when you're thinking of wood grain. If you've ever seen a piece of wood, it has dark stripes in it, right? And so that's called the wood grain. And so the stainless steel is brushed, sort of. It is brushed in one direction. And if you put the polish on in the direction that it's brushed, it is so much easier to do the application of it that way. So when you do the polishing of it, which I'm probably going to wind up having to get a few more paper towels. All right, thanks to my lovely assistant for getting me more paper towels. So something like this, you know, it may take 5 or 6 paper towels to actually get the buffing of it done. A lot of this stainless steel, again, is just, you know, you're kind of seeing the entire thing here happen, top to bottom. From this point, it's going to be a lot of maintenance. And also making sure, like, there's not an accumulation of dust. That's one thing about stainless steel polish, is it does tend to attract dust. If it does that, you can literally just take a partly used paper towel like the one I'm using right here and just kind of wipe up in this corner if you see dust there after you've been using it for other polishing, and it'll restore it perfectly. Okay? All right, now we're going to go inside. Let's have a look at what we can expect on the inside here. So, basically, the other side of the stainless steel door, which I'm not really sure why that opened. I guess we'll try to close it. Let's go ahead and work on this. I see handprints way up here. Again, I'm just going to be going with the grain. With the grain. Be careful when you're around these buttons here. We don't want to be accidentally calling the fire department. Why? Just is, you know, just kind of go slow. Take your time. If you notice the handrail behind me, we're not going to be putting any polish on handrails. Let's put this on. Okay. I'll go up to the door. See how I'm trying to get my whole hand onto the pad? And I'm kind of going slow enough that I know that the stuff's actually coming off of it. If you wipe super fast, it doesn't give it time to transfer the polish onto the metal. So you kind of need to go slow. I'm also pushing pretty hard on this. I'm pushing pretty hard. If I was pushing on you right now, you'd have to be pushing back to not be falling over. So I'm probably putting about 50 pounds on this, easy. But I can feel all the stuff that's stuck to it coming off. It's got like soda pop and coffee and just little drips mostly down there near the bottom that are just kind of polishing right off. Okay, now go after it with a paper towel. And these little circle things. So basically polishing, I mean, is definitely the next level when it comes to cleaning services. Few people really know how to do it. Few people really will do it. And few people will try to do it well. But if you do it though, I mean, look at the difference it makes, right? Okay. All right. So just these little circles here. Kind of polish this out. And one thing with the elevator is it gets super hot, super quick. All right, guys, that's basically it for the elevator, with the exception of, they're gonna have call buttons on the outside at every floor. So you wanna make sure that you're getting those, generally by floor, so it's not so overwhelming all at once, okay?